1, 2, the cut down. It's a sad one. It's a sad one still. I can't lie. It's a sad one. It's a sad one. It's a sad one. It's a sad one. I can't lie to you, man. I feel the pain of this one. I feel the pain of this one. I do feel the pain of this one. And this is the unfortunate follow-up, which seems now official from the rumors that were there before about LG pulling out of the smartphone game. Poor one for LG smartphones. F for respect, man. It is peak. It's peak. It's sad. It's disappointing. We're gonna read the article. And I'm gonna try and share my thoughts on the whole situation. But I think it's a painful one. It is a painful one. It's a sad one, man. It's a sad one for real. It's a hell of a sad one, and we hate to see competition. We hate to see competition die. We love to see competition there. Competition keeps manufacturers honest. It really keeps them honest, and it keeps them having to push beyond the boundaries to make sure that they do what they need to do to make sure that their product is what it's meant to be, right? So yeah, this one's a sad one. This one's a sad one for the smartphone industry. It really is. Yeah. Well, you know, let me dive into this. Let me dive into this, and let's see what this is about. Let's see what this is about, man. LG to stop this. So this is an article from Phone Arena. So it says LG to stop making phones altogether as buyout fall through. After bringing out these exciting Explorer Edition phones and showcasing the rollables, Lord help us. All right, just when you thought LG rollable phone was back in play, Korean news agency Doug A. Ilbo via Bloomberg is reporting that LG plans to sell its loss-making phone business have fallen through, and for all this time, its sources for the local electronics industry tipped that LG is now planning to shutter its smartphone division altogether after negotiation with VW and others to buy it didn't pan out. Wow, that's sad, man. As a result, not only are the plans to take the rollable display off the lab and launch it commercially have been put on ice, but LG's entire first half smartphone release schedule as well. They're meant to continue with the LG Rainbow concept, successor to the Velvet. The news comes hot off the heels of last month's rumor that the LG Rainbow development has stalled, so that there was smoke, most probably fire in LG's phone making plans. Unnamed industry official source disclosed the reason for LG's pending decision to call it quits on phones follows as even considering the Korea and North American markets where LG Electronics smartphone business remains, the global market share is around 1%, so it's difficult to find a buyer to buy at a high price. Too bad, as LG has quite a good market share and brand recognition as a phone maker in the US and has brought us many intriguing devices over the last. With the quirky LG Wing, the swivel display form factor, LG didn't win the market commercially through. And it's, you know, they put a poll out there, man. It says, will you be sad to see LG smartphones go? Yes or no? 1,670 votes and 70% say yes. I'm speechless, man. I'm speechless, but there's an element of me not being surprised. There's an element of me not being surprised, which is a shame, man. It's a big shame. It's a big shame. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I am sad to see competition go. I am very, very sad to see competition go, because LG, for the longest time, LG really pushed innovation. When it comes to hardware innovation and trying things new, LG did. LG had the first phone to have a quad high definition. I know Oppo to some extent, but LG were the ones that mass marketed and brought out quad high definition play with the LG G2. LG were one of the first manufacturers, that really LG did well. They brought out, I know that they really showcased optical image stabilization, OIS, in the LG G2. Put it out there. LG G5. ultra wide. They were the ones that really brought the ultra wide angle camera out. And even then, back in the day with their Optimus devices, LG always made sure that they had the most powerful Android phones coming out in terms of system on a chip. And on top of that, in terms of audio, internal audio, nothing touching LG, especially when it comes to internal audio with the headphone port. So I don't believe it's the lack of them not trying. What I do believe is the lack of them taking a bit of responsibility in terms of marketing themselves in a unique manner. This isn't about spending lots of money, but if you see how a company like OnePlus has stayed unique in their marketing, even though they don't necessarily have that much major market share, right? LG just weren't unique enough. They didn't think outside of the box, and they didn't try to carve their own lane in terms of uniqueness with marketing that was going to make them stick. 1. 2, there were past reliability issues, right? I don't think that should really be the defining factor, because they never had any major meltdowns like other companies like Apple when it comes to Bengay, when it's Samsung when it comes to the Galaxy Note 7, right? Just putting it out there. Okay, I don't believe they had any major meltdowns to that catastrophic extent, but you know, there were some reliability issues, and sometimes maybe that stigma around them hasn't been shifted, and I don't know if that's been helped or not helped when it comes to the journalists and the media and, you know, coverage on them, right? But it's a tough crowd. It's a tough crowd, man. It's a tough crowd. And I think people being so hell-bent on bashing LG and not really giving them a chance and not really recognizing them has put that stigma on them, right? Which is sad. I think it's sad for them. But you see, in the UK, I had a great history with LG. Remember, I used to work in telco, in stores. Right? I had a great history with LG. I did. You know, from when they did their partnership with Google with the Nexus range, man. Come on. LG have put their stamp on how good Android in terms of hardware has been with partnerships with Google, with all those previous innovations that I told you about, you know. But what it does prove is it don't matter if you're the one that innovated, but it's about how you market yourself to stay unique and stay relevant. They've not been able to do that. And on top of that, not being able to do that and not being able to put themselves out there to the people that actually would cover their devices with relevance, they've not been able to do that well. On top of that, in terms of their reach, I don't believe they've done as well as I would have liked them to. They were actually doing decent. Probably up until the LG G6. And after that, it fell off. And it became harder. I'm sad, man. I'm sad for it. I think there's better people out there that have probably done coverage on it than I'm doing right now in this short space. But I do feel sad. I do feel like LG are a formidable force in terms of hardware innovation, in terms of what they do to have kept the likes of Samsung's and Huawei's honest. And I'm not talking about the price to performance or making themselves cheaper. No, I'm just saying purely outright looking at what LG does, right? You know, they were the ones that made sure that their normal range phones had pen support before Samsung started doing it with the S21 Ultra, putting it out there, you know. But doing it first, being innovative, doesn't guarantee that you're going to be the one to be remembered. Staying unique, staying relevant, staying fresh, bringing something that brings a different touch to you for you to be remembered, right? Boom. Even when people critique OnePlus, they always critique them with never settle. There's always a reverse critique. But you see, they've made themselves unique in terms of what makes them them is what people always remember to use against them to stay relevant, right? There's a passion point there. LG don't have that to an extent. They really don't have that. You know, and it's sad. It's sad to see this crumbling for them in the smartphone industry. I don't really know. I hope there's a last ditch Hail Mary to salvage them. I really do, in my personal opinion. You know, but this is just from the heart that LG over the years, I do appreciate what you brought to the hardware scene. I want to say it from the chest that I think you've done amazing in terms of hardware innovation. I think you've done amazing when other people were going down trendy ways of removing stuff that didn't need to be removed. You stuck to your guns and you stayed the course, you know. I appreciate that. but it is sad that you're in this predicament. I hope something comes out of it positively, and it's a lesson learned that it's not about being first or being the most innovative. It's about staying and being the most unique and most fresh and most relevant, in a sense, to capture people's imagination, so that even companies that barely do any tweaks for their next model when you're expecting more still win it. These are my unfortunate thoughts on LG leaving the smartphone business.